This video, I'm planning a little surprise for one of my neighbours and a good friend. He built probably about 40 years ago, maybe more, a model of a Ferrari. I have to remember. I'll find out which Ferrari it was. But it's a beautifully carved wooden model that he made, and he had it. I think it might have got dropped or something happened to it, and the wheels got snapped off. And he asked if I could fix it for him and put the wheels back on it and to repair it. And he told me a story about once he made it, one of his friends had made him as a gift a little Ferrari badge to sit on the front. I think it was out of aluminium. And consequently, over the years, it had fallen off or got lost, and he was a bit sort of it was a shame, and it wasn't there anymore, and it wasn't complete. So it got my brain thinking, maybe I could make one for him, a new Ferrari badge, but I wasn't sure how to go about it because it's so small. And I didn't want to say anything in case it wasn't possible. So today I'm going to try and make it on the machine and engrave it. So my plan is, I've got this aluminium which I've had lying around for a while. It's like a thick aluminium foil, and I think that if I somehow stuck it maybe to a plastic, and I don't know whether a spray mount or a way of fixing it to the plastic so it's there, but I can peel it off because it's going to be tiny. It's probably about 10 millimeters high, this badge, if that. I'm going to stick it to this plastic, I think. This is what I'm thinking anyway. I'm going to stick it to a bit of plastic, fix that to the router table, and then cut it out from that. I found a file online. I just went through the images and found a PNG file of the prancing horse with not too much detail. It's literally just the outline of it, and put it through a little bit of online software, which I'll put the link below. It's like a converter. I think there's lots of them out there, but this was a free version. You just go online, you put your file in, and it converts it to an SVG file, which then I import into Fusion 360. And created the toolpaths and the cutter, which I'm going to be using. I've never used one of these cutters before, but it's a tiny little engraving tool. Let me see that. Yeah, it's a real tiny, sharp engraving tool, and it literally just needs to go through the material and do the contour of the horse, and then hopefully I can just pick it off, and yeah, I can I might go get the car, bring the car back here, ask him to have a look at it, bring it back here and see if I can fix it and fit it to the car and surprise him. And that's the plan. That's the plan of the day. But I'm not going to mention anything until it's done, because obviously, having watched any of my videos before, things don't always go to plan. So yeah, hopefully this one will. Trying to find a bit which isn't all crinkled up. Pretty much all of it. It's so small, the actual horse that we're doing should be fine. Let's see. Let's get the plastic. Sort of size we're going to do. Smaller.
fix this plastic now. I was thinking about using spray mount, and hopefully it will stick enough, but not too much. I'll be able to get it off at the end. I'll do it over here. Get everything all sticky. I think this spray mount is designed to be able to stick stuff, but not permanently. But that's usually for paper, so I'm not sure how it will fare with plastic and aluminium. It's probably two worst materials to try and stick. Let's see, it's dust free. Thing with plastic, it just attracts the dust. It's almost a static charge. It just sucks it to it. The more you rub it, the more static it builds up, and the more it sucks it. Right, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna push those defects out, the bumps. Yeah, feels pretty good. I think that'll work. So you'll find a nice spot on it where it's not too bumpy. The machine's been turned on, and I've homed all the axes, so all the positioning is good to start. You should do that every time you switch the machine on, just in case it loses its. It's basically telling the machine, it's giving the machine a place to start from, because over time it can start creeping or stepping out, and if that's the case, it has no way of knowing where it is unless it brings everything back to home, and then it can basically recalibrate itself. So that's what I've done, and now I'm going to just load the file up, which shouldn't take too long. Open. I called it Ferrari. Here. There we go. There it is. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is there. Trust me. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna make a work home. Need to stick the bit of aluminium and plastic that we did a minute ago down to the table, and get the Z just touching the top surface, and then we can start doing the cut, which will be next. Something that I'm thinking about doing at some point is making like a mini vacuum bed, just for doing, because a lot of the work happens in this corner. This is 0, 0, 0 on the coordinate, so a lot of the work is done here. It's only when you get to the big stuff that you use more of the bed, but I'd say 80% of the stuff is done in this corner. So if I made a vacuum bed just for this corner, then I could do a lot of stuff instead of taping stuff down. It'd be a lot quicker just to use a vacuum. But that could be a later project. I'll make that myself. I've literally clamped that to the table. Right, so this should fit this corner. Right, that's stuck down. And we can cut anywhere within that. It should be absolutely fine. Thing I've just noticed is the horse, the coordinate system is, they usually do it off to one corner, but on this I also haven't, and it's in the centre of the horse. So I might bring the X and Y over a bit so it's more in the material. Otherwise, I'll end up cutting it almost off the plate. So I'll bring it over there, and then we're safe that it's going to cut somewhere within it. So I'm just going to zero them X and Y. Now, hopefully. A little recap on what just happened. It started cutting the horse out, and then it jettisoned it off. So God knows where. So I'm going to find it and see how complete it was. But I think what it is it's not stuck down enough to the plastic. Obviously, it's just quite a small area, and it's just picked it up and thrown it. Yeah, it was lost. Plus, it didn't complete it because there's like a gap between the horse's front hoof legs. There's like a bit it went to cut out again, which it didn't complete. So even if I found it, it wouldn't be working. I'm gonna try it again with as I have done it, in case that bit wasn't that sticky, and the other bit might be a bit more sticky. Or I'll just try it again, and I might get lucky. If not, we'll take it off and get some new glue and have another go at it. It did it again. I managed to find. I saw where it flung it off to, and I managed to find it. And the results aren't amazingly Ferrari like. I suppose it's more like let's say I could do a better job with a pair of tin snips. I don't know whether that's just because it's not stuck down, it's picking up the finer details. I'm not sure how to get over that really. Maybe go slower so it's not chewing through it so much. Have a think and give it another go. I might do one again, but slower. They say the definition of madness is doing the same thing and hoping for a different result. I was changing stuff. I was altering the speeds and the feed rates as well, slowing them down. But regardless of, some of the results were looking a little bit better when I found them on the floor, but they always seem to throw it off. So I pulled it all off and put some double-sided tape down, some thin double-sided tape to fix it more securely, hopefully. And then on this one I'm going to go shallower with the cut, and even if it just ends up engraving, and just work my way down and hopefully get to a point where it cuts through enough to be able to lift it and look reasonably like a horse, unlike these other bits that just look like bent bits of aluminium. I've noticed that the actual aluminium that I'm using is very chewy, so I don't know if that's having an effect on it. If that's the case, I might end up having to do something, use a different material and then spray it to look aluminium. That might be an answer, but we'll see how we get on with this. I just wanted to show you this before I ruined it by putting it out, because can see the rear legs didn't really come out, but as a thing, an engraving, you'd be able to tell what it is. But trying to remove it as a thing, just sanding any burrs and stuff over. Yeah, I mean, I won't be able to remove that. It's nothing there. Just end up like and that leg isn't a thing. It's just it's negative space. I may have bitten off more than I can chew this one. Might have to go back to the drawing and see if I can simplify it a bit. Something else that I need to consider, I think, is the I've never done any engraving or anything this fine before, but what I think with these tools, these kind of V pointy bit tools, is that point I don't believe is central. It almost rotates around slightly offset, so as it goes around it actually cuts along its whole face rather than going to a point. So I think that's what's happening as well. The machine thinks it's going along a set path, but this cutter is going wider as it oscillates around. What I'm going to try and do is swap that cutter out with this cutter, which isn't as fine, but it's got its own, it's like a corkscrew, almost like a not regular cutter. I'm going to try and go around that, but I fear that this may sort of rip it up even more. But I've already ruined loads, so why not ruin some more? It might work, but I just don't want to peel that up as I've taped it all down just yet until I've sort of explored other avenues. This one turned out a lot better. I went back onto CAD and changed the tool paths a little bit to make it cut a little bit wider of the contour where it was cutting before, so it's cutting more outside than inside to allow for that wider cutter. That was on the cutter which I was last using. I want to go back to the original cutter, the really sharp V bit, and hopefully it will give a more defined outline. And this is now, you see the back legs, it's definitely something I could potentially cut out now, but I just want to see if I can make it a little bit better. I started cutting this one out. I kind of had the intention of doing it again, just going a bit deeper, but I thought I might as well have a look, see, and it has cut through, or at least scored it through. So let's see if I can tease it out without damaging it. Just cutting up to the working it out. It's kind of like the Squid Games with the biscuits. Get it out. Get down to his hair. Let's take that get out now. Okay, it's good. It's good. So we can cut the whole thing out, away from the rest of it. Big club hands. I'm used to this sort of fine work. My neighbour did really well with the carving. It was really impressive. He's a very talented man. He's done lots of planes and other things. He's given me a plane actually to restore and to have. So I might do that in another project. That's like a wood thing. gone too deep there. Save it. These are the tricky ones, these back legs. These were like always not quite cutting properly. They came out okay, that's good. Too deep, 'cause it does over snip with these snips. Almost like shears. Yeah, unfortunately, my neighbour's he's had a couple of strokes, so he's not as dexterous as he used to be, which is why he got me to put the wheels back on it. But yeah, the stuff he's made is absolutely incredible. There we go. Oh, this is okay. So we get this bit out. God. Oh no. I'm gonna get that out. Yeah. Just tease it out bit by bit. The last bit. Let's see that. The last bit there. Just work it out and there we go. There it is. I'm going to try and clean it up a bit, and yeah, but it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks a lot better than the ones that are on the floor. Just going to use a file just to take some of these edges off. So when your needle files are too big, that's when you know you're working small. Yeah, well, I think we'll live with that. I don't want to damage it. I might try and flatten it out a bit and then yeah, make a little presentation card or something for it. I'm just going to show you this quickly because I just so you don't see it when I've put it on the car though. How did it change so much? What I've done, what I'm doing, but I can't read it on camera because it's hard to do it, but I'm just literally just folding the burrs over to bring out a bit more of refine the detail a bit more, and I just go around, just do all that, and then I'll put it on a little black card just to make it pop a bit more. Ow. It's not always a good idea to. It's not always good cutting stuff like Stanley blades with flat rules, because you can easily ride off the rule and slice your hand. I was going to say I'm being careful, but clearly it can still happen. That's quite a nice size. Oh. There we go. Or horsey. So I've just put a bit of spray mount on the back of it, you know, that stuff that didn't stick it. I placed the horse in the middle of the squares, because this is 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters. So when I push this down, it should stick to the middle, like that. And hopefully it's not sticky enough that I can't get it off later. I'm kind of happy with the result, but I went to go over to my neighbour's, and I was looking at it. I was thinking, I think I could get more detail in it.
So what I'm going to try and do, I know I should probably just stop here because this is beyond my skill level. What I'm going to try and attempt is way beyond, but I think it's worth giving things a go. I always think that's the only way you can really get better at anything. It's just by jumping in and giving it a go. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Which is usually a case, but that's cool. It's all part of the fun. So I'm going to use these tools. These are like modelling tools for clay and stuff, and some of them have got like a smooth. Should probably put this down. It's smooth burnish, so I can almost like rub it. I can maybe rub some detail into the prancing horse, just to bring out some of the just some of the detail, the muscle. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, just something in there just to take away so it's not so flat. That's what I'm going to try and attempt.
Okay, I've got a reference picture. So I should probably try a bit on, see what actually happens. I've got on some of the card as well. Help push. It's quite scratchy. This one. Get the detail, that's the question. Kind of just want to give it a go. So I get a bit in the mane, maybe a bit on the front leg, just to bring the foreground and the background, sort of detach them from each other a bit. Get the jawline a bit better. I think that's as good as I'm going to be able to get it. I think, yeah, you can see a little bit of detail. Maybe it's just my imagination.
I went to see my neighbour and picked up the car and showed him the badge. He was very impressed and very pleased with it, which is good. So I brought the car back. I forgot to ask him what car it actually is, but from doing research when I was assessing the wheels, it's a Ferrari 250, I think, short wheelbase. But if I'm wrong, I'll put a note in the comments of what it actually is. I'll ask him. So this is the car. Really amazing. It's a lovely thing. So this was hand carved. I think you can see it's made up of sections, and he's just carved it absolutely beautifully. So what we're going to do is attach the badge to the front here with a little bit of super glue. I'm going to do that now. Sort of block to lift the front end up. Get to the grill a little bit easier. Do this really dry fit. So I guess it's going to go in that middle. There's a bit of glue from the original one there, so I might just try and match that. Something like that. It's going to be fiddly. The thing about making stuff is that there's always a sense of jeopardy whenever you make stuff like this. That it's going to all come unravel and get destroyed in the last minute.
just when everything's going right, and then suddenly you make a bozo. That's another video I watch is Tom Lipton, and he always says it's called a bozo move or something. This glue's not coming out. Okay, I managed to clear the end out, so it's got glue coming out the nozzle. So I don't think I need much. Try and do this. Be like a surgeon with this stuff. Get a bit of activator. Looks fine. Just stay. That's pretty solid. I hope you like this video. I'm pretty pleased with the how it turned out. I think looks so acceptable. I mean, it was a lot of work, well, a lot of mess ups, but you know, if I wanted to make quite a few more of these, it'd have been okay. I could have cut some more out, but you know, as a first attempt of doing engraving and cutting out of that sort of size piece, I think it turned out right, and it's really set the car off nicely. So I'm going to go and take this to the neighbour, and hopefully you'll be pleased with it. And yeah, thank you for watching.